Hello students, welcome again in the third video in which we will study about the circulation of the blood in the human heart. As you know, our heart has different four chambers. We have right atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle, and in this video we will describe the flow of the blood in these four chambers. First of all, the right atrium receives the blood from the different parts of the body. We have the two blood vessels. One is the superior vena cava, second one is the inferior vena cava, which flows the blood into the right atrium. This blood is deoxygenated blood. The right atrium pushes the blood into the right ventricle through tricuspid valve. From the right ventricles, blood is pushed into the lungs through pulmonary artery. What is the function of the lungs? Lungs oxygenate the blood. They take up the carbon dioxide and release the oxygen in this blood. Now this blood become oxygenated and it is received back by the heart in the left atrium. Pulmonary vein brings the blood back to the left atrium. Left atrium pushes the blood into the left ventricle through the bicuspid valve. From the left ventricle, blood is pushed into the aorta. Aorta is the largest blood vessels in the human body. This aorta supplied the blood to all the parts of body. This blood is oxygenated. Okay, this is the flow of the blood inside the heart. The walls of the ventricles are thicker than the walls of atrium because ventricles have to pump the blood to different parts of the body, while atrium have to pump the blood into the ventricles only, which is present nearby to them. So that is the reason. The next topic is the double circulation. Our heart receives the blood two times during the each cycle. That is the double circulation. First, deoxygenated blood is received by the right atrium. That is the one time, and the second time, the oxygenated blood from the lungs is pushed back to the heart, and from there it is transported to the body. So that is the second time. So the same blood is received by the heart two times during the each cycle. This is the concept of double circulation. The heart in the mammals and the birds have the four chambers, and the right and the left chamber separates the mixing of the oxygenated and the deoxygenated blood. This is necessary because we require more energy to maintain our body temperature. In the amphibians and the reptiles, they have the three chambers. In the fishes, they have the two chambers. Now for we will study the transportation in the plants. There are two tissues, xylem and the phloem, which conduct the different materials in the plants. Xylem transports the water and the minerals. Xylem is a tissue and it is made up of the different cells named xylem vessels and the xylem tracheids. Water and the minerals enters the roots by the diffusion, and due to by the transpiration suck, this force helps in the upward movement of the water and minerals. Phloem, it transports the food in the form of sucrose from the leaves to the other parts of the body. This process is known as the translocation. Phloem is a tissue which is made up of the different cells known as the sieve tubes and the companion cells. Food from the leaves is transferred to the xylem by the ATP molecules. Due to the osmotic pressure, water enters the phloem and helps in the transport of the food. Transport through the phloem is the bidirectional, while transport through the xylem is unidirectional. Excretion is the last life processes which we will study. Excretion is the process by which all the waste products is eliminated from the body. In the unicellular organisms, it occurs by the diffusion, but in the multicellular organisms, we have a discrete tissues, organ, and the organ system for this process. In the excretion in the human beings, we have the excretory system, fully functional excretory system, which consists of a pair of kidney, a pair of ureters, urinary bladder, and urethra. Each kidney has a number of millions of excretory units known as the nephrons. This is the structure of the nephrons. Nephron consists of the Bowman's capsule and the glomerulus. Glomerulus is the bunch of the capillaries. From the glomerulus, like some blood is transferred into the Bowman's capsule, and from the Bowman's capsule it is transported to the descending loop of the Henle, then to ascending loop of the Henle, and then to the collecting duct. This structure helps in the formation of the urine from the blood. This nephron Each nephron has a cup of structure like the Bowman's capsule, which I tell you. It contains a bunch of the capillaries called glomerulus. This Bowman's capsule leads to into the tubular structure, which joins into the collecting duct. This renal artery brings in the nitrogenous waste like ammonia, urea, uric acid, along with the excess water into nephrons. It filters the nitrogenous waste water salt, which passes through the tubular structure into the collecting duct. The waste then passes through the ureters into the urinary bladder and then sent out of through the urethra as the urine. Or any other useful product like the amino acid, glucose, and some water are reabsorbed by the capillaries around this tubular structure. In the plants, like there are some waste, for example carbon dioxide, which is removed through the stomatas. Excess water is also removed through the stomata, which by a process known as the transpiration. Some waste material are stored in the leaves and removed when the leaves dry and they fall down. Some waste products are stored in the vacuoles like the gums and the resins, and some waste products are also removed by the roots. So by this we have completed our chapter number 1, life processes. I hope you understand it. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the class or in the comment section. Have a nice day, students.